welcome to class. In today's lesson, we'll look at rock types and rock cycle. In our last class, we said that rocks are hard, solid material that is made up of what? Minerals. And also look at minerals. Today we want to look at how the three types of rock are formed. You already know that the three types of rock are igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and what? Metamorphic rock. First of all, we need to know our earth look like. Okay, our earth is divided into four major parts. You have the crust, the mantle, you have the inner core and the what? Outer core, and then you have the lithosphere, of course, which is the solid part of the world, earth. Now, all the rocks we are talking about are found mostly in the crust, okay? Which contains the lithosphere as well. Then the inner core is the most hottest part of the earth. Can you see it? It's very hot, okay? At times, the heat becomes so hot that it forms into a hot liquid we call magma. Say magma. Yes, it will start flowing. You must have seen it before, okay? This is what results to the one of the formation of rocks, okay? When we have magma flowing and after some time settling down to cool, it forms a kind of rock we call igneous rock. Igneous means from fire. Do you understand? Yes. Now, the way the magma will move will determine the type of rock that is what? Form. If a magma is moving and solidifies or hardens under the earth, it is called intrusive igneous rock. Say intrusive igneous rock. Intrusive igneous rock. But if the magma now flows out of the earth, it is now called lava. Say lava. When that lava cools and hardens, it forms extrusive igneous rock. Say extrusive igneous rock. Yes, so we have two types of igneous rock. Intrusive igneous rock and extrusive igneous rock. Some examples of igneous rock, you can see them. We have obsidian, we have pumice, we have rhyolite, we have andesite, we have basalt. Say basalt. Basalt. We have granite, diorite, we have gabbro, we have porphyry, and we have pegmatite. All these are examples of what? Igneous rock. Let's now look at sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rock are found in different places on the earth's surface, okay? But they are not very much, okay? They are small in sizes. Sedimentary rock are formed when particles break from mountains and they are carried by water or wind or different agents and heat to a point where they now assemble together, okay? When they gather together, they will form what we call layer of different colors and materials, okay? This is what we call a stratified look. Say stratified look. Stratified look. Because of the way sedimentary rock are formed, they are classified into three. We have clastic sedimentary rock, chemical sedimentary rock, and organic sedimentary rock, okay? Clastic sedimentary rock, as the name implies, is formed from the washing away or weathering of existing rocks, okay, such as mountains. When they will flow together, water will carry them and assemble them together. They will form a kind of rock which we call classic what? Sedimentary rock. Examples, as you can see, there are breccia, conglomerate, sandstone, siltstone, and shale. Okay, let's look at chemical sedimentary rock. Chemical sedimentary rock are formed when the minerals that are carried by water, okay, have evaporated from the materials. These minerals will now come together to form another kinds of rock or sedimentary rock, which we call what? Chemical sedimentary rock. Examples, as you can see there, we have rock salt, iron ore for making iron, we have sheet, we have flint, we have dolomite, and we have some kinds of what? Limestone. Let's look at organic sedimentary rock. Organic means made from living things, okay? They are formed from the piling up or when living dead plants and animals debris gather together, and then they will form different kinds of layers as well, okay? That's why it's called organic sedimentary rock. Examples are some limestone, dolomite, and then coal, of course. You know, coal is very important to use it for making or generating energy, is it not? Yes. Let's now look at metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock are formed from what? Pre-existing rock. That is, metamorphic rock are formed from sedimentary rock
and igneous rock, and some other metamorphic rock. There are two ways that metamorphic rock can be formed. We call it contact metamorphism and regional metamorphism. In contact metamorphism, the magma will be heated to a certain temperature, and then those rock material that are close to it will gradually change. Do you understand? The greater the heat of the material, the quicker the rock's material will change, and therefore they will form a very small, tiny crystal that you will not see very well. Okay, that is what we call contact metamorphism. Do you get it now? Yes, the magma just around the region will hit those materials close to it. But in regional metamorphism, it is much more bigger. Okay, it's much more wider. Okay, and the materials that are heated they are not very close, so they take time to cool. That means their crystals will be much more larger than that of the what? Contact metamorphism. Do you get it now? Yes. The reason why we have our heads flowing with magma and so much heat is what we call tectonic plate movement. Our scientists discovered that our Earth is made up of about 6 or 7 major tectonic plates and some other small tectonic plates. What they do is that they gradually move slowly. Sometimes as they are moving slowly together, they will now collide with each other. Are you getting it now? When they collide with each other, it will result to a friction. This friction now will now cause heat. The core of the air that is normally hot before to heat up more, and then sometimes it result to earthquake. It result to the flowing of magma, and if it's even too much, it comes out as lava. Is it not? Yes, this is the reason why you see we have earthquakes sometimes, and it is the reason why we have this rock constantly changing and forming new materials. So it's called tectonic plate movement. See tectonic plate movement. Because of this movement that we have seen, there are two main types of metamorphic rock: foliated metamorphic rock and non-foliated metamorphic rock. Okay, in foliated metamorphic rock, the rocks have a layer that is produced by the folding of pre-existing rock under extreme high pressure and fast cooling minerals. In other words, other type of rock will be heated. Okay, as it's heated, it will now squish or squeeze and form another new kind of material with different layer, which of course we call metamorphic rock. Okay, some examples of foliated are slate, phyllite, schist, and gneiss. Okay, these are examples of foliated metamorphic rock. Or the other are non-foliated metamorphic rock do not form that kind of layer. Do you understand? The rocks are formed under extreme high temperature but low pressure. It takes time to cool. Okay, hence their crystals are very, very large. Take note, they do not have that squished layer. Example, you have unfazed marbles and quartzite. Say quartzite. So quartzite is an example of a metamorphic rock. So what am I saying here? Look at this table. You understand how metamorphic rock is formed more. Remember we said that metamorphic rock is formed when either sedimentary rock or igneous rock or metamorphic rock is heated again. It will not change again to another kind of rock, and that is called metamorphic rock. From this table, you can see that limestone is a type of sedimentary rock, is it not? Yes. Once it is heated, it will change to marble, which is a metamorphic rock. You can see now, sedimentary to metamorphic. And granite is igneous. It is changing to gneiss, which is metamorphic. Shale is sedimentary. It's changing to Hornfels, which is metamorphic. Shale is metamorphic and it is changing to schist, another kind of metamorphic. That explains how metamorphic rock is formed. Let's now look at the rock cycle. Remember, a cycle is something that repeats itself, is it not? Yes. The rock cycle shows that rock is constantly changing from one form to another, but it is a very, very slow process. It's a slow process. Yes. So the rock cycle tells you that metamorphic rock is always changing to Igneous rock is changing to sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock changing back to metamorphic rock. It is a continuous what? Process. Why are we even studying rocks and minerals? Are they useful? Yes. Rocks and minerals are very, very what? Useful. We use them for building and structure. We use them for streets and sidewalk. We use them for art and beauty. For example, sculpture. And then we make them with making tools. Okay? I want you to settle down, watch the video, learn more about rocks and the rock cycle. Okay?
Rocks are everywhere. They are large and small, heavy or light, porous or dense. But rocks in some shape or form can be found all over the planet. Different types of rocks are formed in different ways. There are three main types of rock: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. Igneous is a word that means fiery. Igneous rock is formed when magma or lava cools. Sometimes magma cools slowly underneath the Earth's surface. This forms intrusive igneous rock, like granite. Other times, lava cools when it comes to the surface in a volcanic eruption. This forms extrusive igneous rock. Some examples of extrusive igneous rock are tuff, obsidian, and pumice. Igneous rocks make up about 95% of the Earth's crust. The next type of rock is sedimentary rock. Sediment is small particles of sand, mud, and organic material that settle to the bottom of water or land areas, often lakes or oceans. Sedimentary rocks are formed when sediment accumulates over time in deposits that form layers. These layers become squeezed and compressed over time until they consolidate into a rock. Sedimentary rocks are the types of rocks in which fossils may be found, since the process of forming sedimentary rocks can preserve plant and animal remains that are deposited into the sediment layers. Some examples of sedimentary rock are limestone, shale, and sandstone. The third type of rock is metamorphic rock. The word metamorph means to change form, and metamorphic rock is rock that has been changed by extreme heat and pressure. Sedimentary rock, igneous rock, or even other metamorphic rocks can be changed by heat and pressure into new kinds of rock. Metamorphic rocks can be formed by being deep under the earth where pressure and temperatures are high, or when rock near the surface is heated up by the movement of tectonic plates or magma. Different types of rocks become different types of metamorphic rock when exposed to heat and pressure. For example, shale becomes slate. Sandstone becomes quartzite. And limestone becomes marble. Rocks are slowly but constantly changing in something known as the rock cycle. The rock cycle begins with magma, or hot melted rock, deep beneath the Earth's surface. This magma becomes crystallized, becoming igneous rock. These rocks begin to erode or break down into small pieces because of wind, water, or other forces. The small fragments of rock are carried away as sediment when water passes over them, and are deposited in layers, which eventually become sedimentary rocks. Then, some sedimentary rocks are pushed below the surface due to tectonic activity, where they are exposed to heat and pressure, transforming them into metamorphic rocks. If the rocks are buried even deeper, they may melt and form magma, starting the cycle all over again. Of course, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks can be eroded into sediment, and igneous rock can become metamorphic rock or lava. But one way or another, rocks all over the world keep changing from one form to the next.
Okay. Welcome back from that interesting video. I believe with this topic you now know the different types of rocks, how they are formed, and you now know that rocks and minerals are used every day. That brings us to the end of today's lesson. Until then, stay safe.